We're continuing to follow breaking news as we come on the air tonight. Live pictures over the Fulton County Courthouse in Atlanta, Georgia, after a judge makes an announcement in the Trump election probe case. Now, we are awaiting the findings from that grand jury. We know they've presented them to the judge. At this time, we do not know yet who's been indicted and what is in the charges. Now, the case involves former President Trump's alleged efforts to overturn the election in that state back in 2020. That investigation centers around a 2021 phone call between Trump and Georgia's Secretary of State in which Trump urged him to find thousands of votes in his favor. Now, if charged in this, it would make the fourth indictment for the former president. He's been previously indicted in a special counsel's investigation into election interference, classified documents probe, and the Manhattan DA's hush money case. Now, within the last hour, former President Trump took to Twitter, this social media site Truth Social, to share a statement from the campaign. In the statement, he calls this an attack on his campaign, saying charges could have been brought years ago, but instead is taking place as he runs for the White House. Now, later in the statement, he calls the investigation an attempt to take away his First Amendment right to free speech. Now, we're getting several reactions tonight in regards to this latest investigation. That includes from Trump's attorney, who responded to a leak that prematurely listed out 13 criminal charges against the former president.
Hours ago, the clerk accidentally posted an indictment. They said it was a mistake. We don't know what happened there. But then after that, Fannie had the courts and whoever directed to stay open late so that they could try and bring down an indictment, because possibly, in my opinion, I would be pretty embarrassed and not want that to turn over into tomorrow's news.
Now, those charges included racketeering and conspiracy to commit false statements. The court filing was quickly taken down from the court website. Former 2016 presidential candidate Hillary Clinton responding to the possibility of Trump's fourth indictment. She says it's not a moment for celebration.
I don't feel any satisfaction. I feel great, just great, profound sadness that we have a former president who has been indicted for so many charges that went right to the heart of whether or not our democracy would survive.
Now, we first told you about this as a breaking news development through our app. With that app, you can get breaking news alerts sent right to your phone. You can download the app for free. Just scan the QR code there. You can also find it again for free in the Google Play and Apple App Stores. And we'll have complete coverage of this on our website, Dayton247now.com. All right, let's talk about weather now, because we had plenty of rain come through this morning and this evening. Is it pretty much out of here now?
Yeah, other than a spot shower or two for this evening, we're pretty much good, but another chance for some very light rain tomorrow. Most of the day will be dry, and tomorrow's actually going to be very nice and fall-like too. So here's a look at radar, because we do have some showers making their way still through Champaign County. Everywhere else sitting pretty quiet at this time. There you see through Urbana, getting some light to moderate rainfall there. That'll be clearing out here shortly. Rest of the region sitting in the 60s and 70s. We have 68 Urbana, 73 in Dayton, 68 in Richmond. So overall, a warm evening, which will turn to be a cooler night. And really tomorrow afternoon, we're not going to get much warmer than what we're sitting at right now. It's going to be a pretty cool day. Lows tonight, though, dropping into the lower 60s, mostly cloudy sky. There is a chance for a shower or two lingering across the area, and also could see some patchy fog. But I'll have a look at the rest of the week's forecast. I'm going to talk about this fall-like weather, how long that's going to be sticking around, as well as our next chance for rain.
Natalie, thanks. Police continuing to investigate tonight after a man's body was recovered from the water at Eastwood Metro Park. Now, the initial report came in, police say, at about 5 o'clock tonight, of someone in the water close to the shore near one of the park's bathrooms. Police say the man that they pulled is believed to be between 20 and 30 years old. The investigation into what happened still very much ongoing. We'll, of course, continue to update you on air and online as we learn anything new. We do now know the name of the man who died in last week's Monmouth Street shooting in Dayton. Now, the Montgomery County Coroner's Office confirmed 31-year-old Gregory Dillon died. Police were called to that scene Thursday, where they found Dillon dead. Now, one person was suspected in that shooting was arrested. Nobody else was hurt out of that. Tomorrow, a Dayton man is expected to be in court following a deadly downtown Dayton shooting earlier this month. Back on August 2nd, Dayton police say they were patrolling when they heard gunshots, and during that investigation, they found 51-year-old Robert Blackstone dead. According to prosecutors, video shows Blackstone and Antonio Murray having an encounter before Blackstone was shot. Now, Murray's been indicted on several charges, including 2 counts of murder. And the man who's accused of trying to abduct a child from Riverscape Metro Park, also expected to be in court. According to prosecutors, 32-year-old Christopher McMahon attempted to take a 3-year-old girl from the swings. Prosecutors add that a man who was with the child's family and another family member, they were able to chase McMahon away. He's facing 1 count of attempt to commit abduction. Well, the schools now, many going back in session, and this will be the last year Fairborn students, grades 6 through 12, will go to school in their current buildings. The district superintendent says they are on track to complete their new high school's construction in time for the next school year. Gwyneth Falloon spoke with the district, joins us now live. So how do the plans for this building compare to the current high school?
Well, Adam, the plans, they're just much bigger than their current facility, with just even more for their students and their staff. Now, the plans, they include additional teaching space, as well as updated and state-of-the-art modern classrooms and labs, a brand new state-of-the-art performing arts center, a football stadium, as well as other athletic facilities, all on site. That's including a basketball arena. They currently don't have that on site right now. Now, the school, it's going to just be about 200,000 square feet, but the entire property, it's about 90 acres and a total cost of about $90 million.
Yeah, I'm very proud where we've come. I am very anxious to see the students' faces when they walk into this building a year from now.
So what is the district planning to do with the current high school building then?
Well, that's a great question, Adam, and it's not going to be going to waste. The current high school is actually going to become Fairborn Middle School for the 6th through 8th grade students. The junior high right now, it doesn't have AC or reliable heating, so they're going to move them to the high school. Now, we're going to keep you updated on the construction and its progress as we head closer to next August. Back to you.
Gwen, thanks. Well, the first day of school wrapped up for Dayton Public Schools. Students returned to the classroom this morning. Moving forward, some will arrive through public transit or a school bus. Mamie Baugh explains.
A busy day for the transportation department at Dayton Public Schools, and of course that is to be expected when you have at least 12,000 students returning to the classroom after a long summer vacation. Now, this is the breakdown. Let's give you a look at how it works here. Now, if you live 1.5 miles or more away from your school, you're either on the school bus or you're on the RTA, right? So K through 8 students, at least 6,000 of them are on the school bus. And when it comes to your high school students, at least 2,100 of them are on the RTA. As you know, the past few years, school districts have had one subject matter in common: a shortage of bus drivers. Right now, the district said it's doing well, but staffing is still not where it needs to be. Last year, the Ohio Department of Education cited Dayton Public Schools for non-compliance with the state's laws to bus students who live in the school district to charter schools. I spoke to the senior executive director of transportation with the district about this. What are you doing to make sure that doesn't happen again this year?
Continue to hire drivers, make it a great place to work. That's why we had our groundbreaking last Friday on the transportation center. That, we believe, will help increase the morale, help drivers remain with us, and they will recruit their family, their friends, their neighbors.
In March, DPS voiced concerns over the RTA trying to put policies in place that prevented students from riding the bus. Now, it's unclear where that stands at this time. I did reach out to the RTA, but I did not hear back. Back to you.
Well, several schools are going to be starting their school year tomorrow. That includes Beaver Creek City Schools. The first day tomorrow, grades 6 through 12. It's also the first day for 1st through 5th graders whose last name initials fall between A through L. Miamisburg, they're back tomorrow, and if your child is in the Jefferson Township Local School District, they are also back tomorrow. Same goes for parents and students in Springboro. And parents, we'd love to see how you're preparing for the first day of school. We'd love to see your pictures and videos. You can send them in to us at any time. You can scan that QR code there on your screen there. That'll take you to the Dayton 24/7 Now app. And once you open that up, you click on Explore, then chime in. We'll share those photos and videos on air and online. All right, so parishioners at churches in Hawaii, they mourned and prayed for the dead and missing people after last week's wildfires devastated the island of Maui. 93 people so far have been confirmed dead in those fires. Many more are still missing. The fire is already the deadliest in U.S. history. The historic town of Lahaina, the old capital of the Kingdom of Hawaii, was mostly destroyed. Now, the National Weather Service says a nearby hurricane fueled the high winds that helped cause the wildfires on Maui. Officials forecast rebuilding Maui could cost more than $5.5 billion. According to the University of Hawaii's Pacific Disaster Center, at least 2,200 structures have been damaged or destroyed. 85% of those believed to be residential, 9% commercial. Estimated 4,500 people are needing ongoing emergency shelter during the recovery. The fire destroyed 80% of the area of Lahaina, torching more than 3 square miles. Now, the White House says it will support Hawaii through every step of its recovery. FEMA says it's activated its Transitional Sheltering Assistance Program, all to help people who were forced out of their homes by the fires. Workers are searching the island as quickly as possible, trying to do so in a way that is methodical, appropriate, and culturally sensitive.
You have to understand the situation on the ground right now. It is extremely hazardous. There are structures that are partially standing that engineers have to clear first to make sure it's safe for the search and rescue teams to go into, make sure it's safe for the dogs to go into.
The White House says there are no plans right now for President Biden to visit the state. She says that the president is deeply concerned about the situation and getting continuous updates. U.S. Senator J.D. Vance continuing to express frustration with cleanup efforts in East Palestine following February's hazardous derailment. Now, Vance spent the afternoon touring the site with local officials. He says there was supposed to be a celebration for the completion of the cleanup in July. Now we're in August, though, and there's still more work to be done. Vance adds that railroad companies need to make safety and training changes to prevent other situations like this.
We can't expect the railroads in good faith to do what they need to do. They need to be required to do it. This is what legislation is for. This is why we have lawmaking bodies in this country, is because public safety on our railroads shouldn't be determined by the good wishes or the good intentions of Norfolk Southern. It should be determined by the will of the people.
Vance, along with Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown, introduced the Railway Safety Act of 2023 back in March. The bill would enhance safety procedures for trains carrying hazardous materials. Cincinnati Bengals star running back Joe Mixon is off the field and inside a courtroom, accused of pointing a gun at a woman. Ahead, we take you inside that courtroom and what she told Mixon after the alleged incident. Now, severe weather slamming the state over the weekend. Coming up, a look at the damage left behind and why, despite the destruction, some people going to sleep tonight are feeling grateful.
Plus, I'm tracking a taste of fall on the way. How much cooler we're going to get, that's coming up. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Cleanup continues throughout the state tonight after severe weather hit several areas in Hardin County. An EF1 tornado touched down over the weekend, leaving many without power and a lot of damage. Jeremiah Wilcox has a look at the progress being made with that cleanup.
Look up, and I was watching the clouds, and the clouds it just formed.
A scary sight on Saturday, an EF1 tornado touched down in Kenton, causing damage in parts of the area.
All the trees come and blocked my front door and blocked my garage. The furniture was flying around the back porch.
Monday, crews working to clear debris from streets, sidewalks, and homes.
A lot of structural damage, but I think between then and now, they've gotten their places, fixed back up. The best that they can.
Crews cleaning say they will continue to keep the roads and public areas free from potentially dangerous debris.
Now, that was Jeremiah Wilcox reporting. Now, while it could cost thousands to repair some homes and businesses here in the area, a lot of residents say they're just grateful it was not worse.
Well, we have a couple of showers around this evening after what was a pretty stormy evening for us, too. We saw some pretty heavy rain, not only earlier into the day, but also later on. Now, things are quieter now, and that will be the case overnight as some cooler air starts to slide in, too. So bigger picture here, got an area of low pressure spinning about. This is actually going to keep some clouds and some showers in the forecast during the day tomorrow. Most of the day will be dry, but we do have the chance for a spot shower during the afternoon. So clearing out overnight, but clouds and some fog even possible early into the morning. We'll start out in the 60s. Afternoon hours, we're going to struggle to get into the upper 70s. I think we'll stay in the mid 70s during the day tomorrow, and then a spot shower or two by our Wednesday or Tuesday afternoon. And then Wednesday, it's looking great with highs in the upper 70s.
Natalie, thanks. We want to go back to that breaking news out of Georgia tonight. Fulton County's district attorney expected to provide a statement at any point. CNN reporting that there are several indictments, 13 charges against former President Trump, 18 accomplices that are alleged to be involved. This is about the 2020 election probe. A lot of information coming in very quickly here. We're expected again to get a statement from the Fulton County district attorney about the indictments in this case. They are reported to be involving former President Trump and many of his allies in regards to that 2020 elections case where he's accused of trying to overturn the results in that particular state. We will cut back to that live shot as soon as the Fulton County District Attorney gives a statement. In the meantime, Bengals running back Joe Mixon was in court today. He's accused of threatening a woman with a gun back in January. Mixon faces one misdemeanor count of aggravated menacing. He's pled not guilty. Christian Hauser was in court and has the latest.
Now, the victim spent most of the day on the stand. She opted out of being recorded by the media, though, so you will not see or hear from her. Now, during her testimony, though, she says that Mixon cut her off while they were driving west on 3rd Street. She says she honked her horn at him, and then he slammed on his brakes in front of her, forcing her to do the same to avoid rear-ending him. Now, the two then turned left onto Walnut Street. It's at that point that the victim says that she could hear someone yelling, so she rolled down her window. She says Mixon then pointed a gun at her and said that he should shoot her. Now, the victim says that she responded by saying, if you're going to pull that gun out, you better plan on using it. She followed that up by saying Mixon is what's wrong with America, clarifying in court that she meant people so quick to choose violence are what's wrong. Now, they'll be back in here tomorrow at 9:30 in the morning. I'll be in there, and you can follow along as I live tweet everything that's happening in there. I try to do it pretty much just as it's happening there and provide some pictures for you. Just follow me on Twitter, or I guess X, at Christian WKRC12, and I'm at the Hamilton County Courthouse. Back to you all in the studio.
Hunter Biden's legal team said yesterday in a filing that their felony deal with a special counsel is, quote, valid and binding. They wrote that the arrangement to drop a felony gun charge was complete when presented to a federal judge last month. It was part of a plea deal requiring Hunter to plead guilty to 2 misdemeanor charges and enter a diversion program. But that plea deal fell apart in federal court last month. All right, live pictures over downtown Troy tonight. You can see the ground wet there. Lots of rain coming through our area. Natalie, is it all done for the night?
Yeah, spot shower can't be ruled out, but for the most part, that rain has made its way out of the area, and we got some cooler air heading its way in. So still can't rule out a slight chance for a shower tomorrow afternoon. We're tracking maybe after 3 p.m. or so, we could see a shower pop up across the area. But temperature-wise, it's going to be very cool, mid-70s for this time of the year. That's well below normal for this time of the year, over 10 degrees below normal. 79 for Wednesday, 83 on Thursday. Another front makes its way in, bringing us a small chance for rain Thursday into Friday, and then by Saturday back into the lower 80s again. Now, next week, it's a different story. It heats up. Climate Prediction Center indicating above normal temperatures looking pretty likely for us, and that looks to be the setup as we head into next week. A hotter and also a drier trend for next week, with highs reaching 90 degrees even.
Natalie, thanks. A new social media app causing privacy concerns for teens. Why experts say that app needs to make changes before it's more secure. You're watching Dayton 24. All right, we are continuing to follow breaking news. We want to take you back down to Georgia. This is a look at a news conference that should be happening shortly involving the Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis announcing the indictment that was just handed down. It is a 98-page indictment involving 19 defendants, including former President Trump, all over an election conspiracy. They call it an unlawful change of the outcome of the 2020 election results in the state of Georgia. Now, along with former President Trump, his lawyers John Eastman, Rudy Giuliani, and Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, CNN is reporting, are all named in this indictment. There are 19 defendants named in total in that 98-page indictment that was handed down just hours ago, and that includes former President Trump. This would be his fourth different indictment over cases involving himself. Now, the racketeering charges are the main ones in this indictment. This again, according to CNN. Former President Trump has come out and denied all charges in the case itself. We again are awaiting a news conference or a statement from the Fulton County District Attorney, Fani Willis, as they have just handed down a 98-page indictment against 19 defendants. That includes former President Donald Trump. We will come back to this as soon as that district attorney takes the podium. A new app targeting high school students is raising safety concerns from parents, schools, human trafficking groups, and social media experts. The app is called Saturn. It's a calendar that lets kids upload their exact class schedule. It has a direct message and bulletin board features, letting users post to their entire school. Morella Porter explains.
The app verifies students using their phone number and school email address. While Saturn is intended for students 13 and above in high school, parents, schools, and internet safety experts like Chris McKenna raise the alarm about privacy issues.
I'm a 40-year-old man. I had visibility into all of the kids at a school anywhere in the country who were using this application.
Concern across the country pushed the app to make changes this weekend. Saturn says it has strengthened its verification process, limiting access for non-verified accounts. Other students' profiles, direct message, and the bulletin are no longer accessible without verification. There is also an option to make a profile private. McKenna still has concerns about how people can manipulate the app. He also worries about cyberbullying.
Now, that was Morella Porter reporting. To be clear, Saturn is not affiliated with any schools. It says information on the app about each school, like classes and teachers, comes from publicly available information. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.